Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing Raticate, the Kanto rodent Pokemon, and not the best base stats, to be completely honest. We've got 55 in HP, 97 in speed, 81 in attack, 50 in special, 60 in defense. And we have a crit rate of 18.75%. So not bad. Not the best, but not bad. That totals us out for a total of 343. And we have a pretty decent move pool. Obviously, we start in our learn set. We just have normal type attacks. So we do get some coverage. We get access to Bubble Beam, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Thunder Dig, and some other normal type stab moves that could be useful going forward. Now, I expect Raticate to actually do pretty good. It's not, like I said, it's not doing anything crazy with base stats, but we do have good coverage. We have a pretty good attack stat. However, like most Pokemon that start off without a move that does good damage to rock types, we're going to lose points on Brock, unfortunately. Just due to that fact. But you know, we do have same type attacks in all of our throughout all of our learn set with Hyper Fang, Super Fang, and I think Hyper Fang will actually be pretty good. It's 80 base power with 90% accuracy, so that's something we can use. Obviously, once we get access to Body Slam, that will be a heavily used move because it does have the upside for paralysis. So that's always something we're going to keep close on our move set. Now, being a normal type, there also isn't any starter for the rival that's going to, you know, be good necessarily to pick. So typically whenever I have these type of runs, I just go ahead and keep it simple and just keep it as Flareon, because usually you'll win that battle in the lab. So we'll just keep it as Flareon. I have super effective damage against all of the potential final starters that the rival can have. Dig will be super effective against both Flareon and Jolteon, and then Thunderbolt would be super effective against Vaporeon. So in that case, like I said, in these cases where I have super effective damage against everyone, I just go ahead and go for Flareon, because it could always potentially burn you and cause you some issues, but that probably won't be the case. But first up, as always, we have Brock. Now, good thing here is we do have Tail Whip, so we do have a way of dealing with Onix and its uses of Bide. However, just kind of looking at things here, I am taking a pretty good amount of damage from Geodude. We're going to take about 20 hit points of damage. We get a critical hit on the first try there, but taking 2 HP per turn when he goes for Bind, so that's pretty tough. And kind of looking at this here, without Onix kind of going for those bides and giving me time to kind of get some tail whips in, it's going to kind of be tough. I'd actually prefer it to, use Tackle, Screech over Bind, because Bind is a multi-turn move, and we can take damage over multiple turns without actually getting the deality out. So we're going to come back in, take out the Geodude. This time we have 4 more HP than we did last time. Onix is going to go for Screech. It's going to fail. And I figured it'd probably be best to kind of set up a little bit of Tail Whip out of Bide, because Onix has a lot better defense than Geodude does. So we do need to kind of lower down its defenses so we can have a better chance. Now, I think honestly this is one of those fights. It's like it could go either way. It could be a little bit inconsistent. As you can see, we're winning it by very thin margins. So for the score here, I'm going to go ahead and give Raticate a 20 out of 33. So that's -4 for having to use an effective move against both this Pokemon. That's -5 for an inconsistent win. I just think based off of the margins we won that at, it could be pretty inconsistent. So we're going to start with 20 points. Not bad. It's that's to be expected out of most Pokemon because they typically don't have moves that can do anything good to rock types. So that's not anything to really be upset at. You can definitely make a comeback in the fights to come after. So we're going to take a look at Misty. I don't think this is going to be too difficult. We do have access to Body Slam now, which, looking at the effective power, is 127. Plus, I also do have the badge boost for my attack stat and the upside for the paralysis coming from Body Slam. So, as you see, they're going to one-shot the Staryu. It's going to be a two-shot on the Starmie. So, Misty's going to go down really easy there. We're going to get 33 points for Misty. And Surge, that's also going to be an easy fight. I'm going to be able to get access to Dig, and that should, honestly, that probably should one-shot the Raichu. Raichu's special is better than its physical defense, so we shouldn't really have any issues against Surge. I mean, the only thing we're weak to is fighting type moves, and we also have the immunity to Ghost, so that will actually trivialize Agatha as well, even though there aren't really any strong Ghost type moves. Agatha's Pokemon aren't very physically defensive, so I shouldn't have any issues against the Gengars and the Haunters, even the Golbat. Honestly, should be able to take it out with Body Slam, Hyper Beam, whatever we have at the time when it comes. Anything should be able to take care of Agatha. Shouldn't have any issues there. But yeah, Raticate's kind of it's kind of just gonna coast through the rest of the game. I don't really think we'll have any other significant threats, at least for the upcoming fights. But yeah, we're gonna go for a Dig here. Raichu's gonna go for the X speed, does nothing, and yeah, we do get the one shot. Easy Surge battle. It's super easy, nothing to really look at there. That's why the past two gym battles, you just kind of skip over them. I mean, there's really nothing going on there. When you can defeat a gym leader that easily and they just pose no threat to you, it's like, what's the point of even giving them time? Rolling an intro for them. So, there's just no point. And next up we have Erica. Also not a fight that I think I should struggle with. I will be able to get access to Ice Beam as soon as I get to Celadon City, so that shouldn't cause any problems. And we should be able to come through Erica pretty easily. And like having the stab Body Slam, I mean, that's just so strong to get you through the game. And you like, the only things that can resist it are like rock types and ghost types, which are immune. Outside of that, you're really not going to have any issues just spamming Body Slam throughout the whole run. It's great power, utilizes our better attack stat. Like, it's a really good move for Raticate to have. So let's see how Erica goes. Those status conditions could be tricky. Starting off with Tangela, this is going to be the most defensively adept Pokemon she has. It'll still be a 2-hit KO. And now we have Weeping Bell. Not quite a one-shot. We do get put to sleep. That's the one thing when we come into Erica that we really hate is these status condition moves. And I am already at level cap, so I don't really have any room for improvement. And I am going to go down on the first attempt. That's Erica for you right there. Those status condition moves they really will do quite a number on you. Now I'm gonna go for Dig here, see if this makes any difference. It really doesn't. Dig is neutral, and it does not have as much effective power as Body Slam does. But I do manage to get through there without getting any status conditions. Do take a massive hit from Razor Leaf, but that's gonna be okay. Gonna get hit by Petal Dance from Gloom, but we are still able to take down Erica over 2 turns. So I think that's pretty consistent. I think, you could argue that, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to Raticate. I think it can get through that fight pretty consistently. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 37 points for the Erica fight. And we did get 29 from Surge, obviously. A very easy fight. Next we have Koga. I don't think we'll have any issues with Koga. Sometimes I forget that the bug type does resist ground, so technically Koga's Pokemon are not weak to ground. I think I forget that sometimes, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can just come in here with Dig and just one-shot all of his Pokemon. Not really the case. Coming into this fight, our best move is definitely Body Slam. So coming in at level 43, as I mentioned before, I thought the Dig was super effective against Koga's Pokemon, but they are part bugs, so this is just going to be neutral damage. So I'm just going to have to go for Body Slam. Body Slam has better power, but I did not replenish my power points, so I actually don't have any uses of Body Slam. So I'm going to just go ahead and go with the next best thing, which is Hyper Fang. Now I do get hit with Toxic, so that damage is stacking up. I went for a Dig. I'm not really sure why I did that. But Venomoth is setting up double team, and I'm missing, and I'm gonna end up going down because I'm missing due to those evasiveness setups. Now I come back into the fight at level 45, but I still don't replenish my power points, so I cannot just spam Body Slam like I would like. So I'm still gonna keep going for Dig, just because I realized even with Body Slam, I don't think I have the one-shot range. So gonna go for Dig instead, so that I can conserve that last Body Slam for Venomoth and potentially get a paralysis, which I do, which is awesome. It's gonna start setting up double team again, but we're gonna hit it on the next turn with Hyper Fang and take down Koga. So that's gonna be a 41 out of 41 for Koga. I still had 5 more levels and 2 more damage running thresholds that I could have utilized if that fight was giving me any kind of a difficulty. Now, the next 3 gym leaders, the last 3 final gym leaders, aren't going to be difficult whatsoever. So, you know, like, Sabrina's never going to give you trouble if you're a strong physical attacker. So long as you're outspeeding, which is usually the case. If you're faster than Sabrina's Pokemon and you have good physical attack, you're likely just going to one-shot all of her Pokemon. I mean, they really can't do anything to you, in all honesty. They're so frail, and they have no defense, so that's usually never going to cause you issues. So I don't expect that to be the case here. So that'll be for Sabrina. As for Blaine, I do have super effective damage, utilizing Dig against his fire types. The only thing, as always, that we look out for when facing fire types is that upside for the burn. The burn is definitely going to cause issues, because if I get burned, my attack is going to get cut, and that could potentially make it a little bit harder to get through the fight. But I don't really think we'll have that issue, to be completely honest. I think Blaine should still be pretty easy. And then as for Giovanni, I do have super effective damage against, I guess technically everything but the Persian, because I do have Bubble Beam on my set, and I could trade that for Ice Beam. I don't think Bubble Beam's really doing anything at this point in the game, so I don't know why I still have that on my set. But we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the Sabrina fight. As I mentioned, this should be pretty easy. You can see my stats are definitely looking pretty good now, now that I've got the levels, plus the badge boost. So yeah, 1 shot on Abra, 1 shot on Kadabra, and that's going to be a 1 shot on Alakazam, all without a critical hit at level 48. So I mean, yeah, that's how simple she can be. Just strong physical attacks, and we'll take care of her. Even in the case that you're at a type disadvantage, if you outspeed her, you should be just fine. So that'll take care of her, and then we can start making our way over to Cinnabar Island, because we have to take on Blaine, the fire type specialist. Now, like I mentioned, don't think I'll have an issue. I still have why do I still have Bubble Beam? I really need to trade out Bubble Beam for Ice Beam. I think that'll be a better move when we come into Giovanni, because then I have stronger super effective damage against, you know, like Doug Trio, which is only weak to water and ice. And you also have the up chance to freeze in the case that it does not one-hit KO. So that's always something to keep in mind. And Blaine, that's probably why I still have Bubble Beam on my set, because if I do get burned, I do still have an option in Bubble Beam as a special attack. That's a good thing I didn't really think about. And Ice Beam is going to be neutral damage. because it's not resisted in this game, oddly enough. But yeah, it's time to take on Blaine. Shouldn't be a difficult one, so long as I don't get burned. But if I do get burned, I have Bubble Beam to fall back on, which is, looking at that effective power now, is 130. Even though our special stat is very, very lacking compared to all of our other stats, but that's just because Raticate is not. I mean, it's a rat. It's supposed to be using physical attacks, but as you can see, we get through the first 2 Pokemon with no damage taken, and 2 uses of Dig will take down Blaine, and we'll earn ourselves the Volcano badge. So yeah, Raticate's doing really good. We've gotten outside of Brock, we have perfect scores. Oh, and one correction, I actually did give Raticate 32 out of 37 points. I was actually looking at the wrong scorecard. I was looking at it for another Pokemon, and that did get 37 points on that fight. But no, I did go ahead and take the inconsistency points off of Raticate just because of those condition moves. But let's take on the final gym leader, Giovanni. Now that Blaine is done, I could have gone ahead and put on Ice Beam on my set, but Bubble Beam is enough with a critical hit. We Body Slam Persian twice. Now we're going to start going for Dig, as it has a higher effective power between over Body Slam. Obviously, it's super effective. And we'll finish it off after use of Dig with Bubble Beam. We're going to go for Dig on the Nidoking. Not quite enough. It's going to go for Double Kick and nearly take us down. Now, those 2 Pokemon do have an answer for Raticate, but that's okay. Now, we're going to go for Bubble Beam, which is 4 times effective against the Rhydon, which is another thing I didn't consider. You might want to have a 4 times effective move against Pokemon like Rhydon, because even with 260 effective power, no stab, and a poor special stat, that was still enough to take down Rhydon. Now, that's all 8 gym badges down. All we've got left is our final rival fight before the Elite Four, and then we will take on the last 5 remaining trainers in the game. Now, the rival shouldn't really be causing us any issues. There's really no Pokemon on his team that has anything that could really, I don't know, threaten what we have going on here. And as you can see, we're going to make quick work of the team. Now, here's where I was like, okay, I should probably have Ice Beam because I need an answer for the Execute. Because once it becomes an Executor, it's going to be a little bit more bulky and cause us a little bit more issues. Now, obviously, looking at how this fight is going, this is kind of like a little bit of foreshadowing on how that final rival fight will go. Because what does he really have? And Dig is already one-shotting from where we are, so I don't think we'll have any issues with the Flareon or the chance to get burned. So let's take on the Elite Four, starting with Lorelei. I've added Thunderbolt to my set. This is what we're going to be using against Lorelei to take her down. This should be a pretty good answer for her. Obviously, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage because Lorelei does have special attacking Pokemon, so their special stats will be pretty good. Even Cloyster, the one that has better defense, physical defense over special, still, these are probably just going to be 2 shots, 3 shots on the Slowbro because it starts setting up Amnesia. It's also pretty bulky. And take down Jinx with a critical hit Body Slam. And then obviously Lapras looks like about a 3 hit. Even with a critical hit, it's going to be a 3 hit KO. But really easy. So let's head over to Bruno. This is the one trainer who actually has super effective damage against us. Now we still have Bubble Beam on our set. It's going to be good for these 2 Onix that he has. And then we're going to critical hit the Hitmonchan and the Hitmonlee. They're not going to be a threat. Take out the second Onix. And then we're going to go for Body Slam. Looks like maybe about a 3 hit KO. We do get that X defense. We're going to switch over to special attacks and get a critical hit on Machamp. And we're going to get through that fight. No issue. Agatha. We're going for Dig. Her ghost types are not very physically defensive. So we're going to go ahead and exploit that. Thunderbolt on the Golbat's not going to be a one-shot. That's okay. It goes for Leech Life. No confusion. We take that. Dig on the Haunter. One shot. Very nice. Dig on the Arbok. also, oh, barely not a one-shot. We get our defense lowered, but that is going to boost our other stats. Dig on the Gengar, and we get through Agatha at level 55. Now, going into Lance, this is where we really want Ice Beam. So it's time to get rid of Bubble Beam. Thunderbolt, we're going to use on the Gyarados. It's 4 times a week. Not quite enough to take him out. Strangely enough, we're going to get hit with a Hydro Pump. That'll take us down to about half. Ice Beam on the Dragonairs, not quite enough. Hyper Beam from the Dragonair, not doing very much though, but looking at how we're looking now, I don't think we're going to have the ranges that we need to take out the likes of Aerodactyl, potentially Dragonite, but I don't know, it's looking pretty rough. We're going to get wrapped by the Dragonair, take it down over 2 hits, and Ice Beam on the Aerodactyl is not going to be enough. We're going to get finished off by Hyper Beam. Let's come back in over a damage running threshold at 58, still not enough to take down the Gyarados, but it's going to go for a Hyper Potion, and that is in fact a range. So we get the one shot there. We're going to switch out Body Slam for Hyper Beam at this point in time, as it's just going to do, as you can see, an effective power of 100 times, not 100 times, 100 more effective power over Body Slam. So we're going to go for Ice Beam on the Aerodactyl. We're going to tank a Hyper Beam. Ice Beam one more time, and then we should be able to take out Dragonite with 1 use. Ooh, still not able to, but we're going to survive the Thunder, finish it off over 2 turns, and that'll take care of Lance. Now, coming out of the Elite Four, we've got perfect scores, 45 across the board amongst all members of the Elite Four. And now we have to just take on the Champion Blue, which, if we've seen previously, this should not be an issue for us. We should be able to easily just walk over his team and make quick work, because we've done so in that fight just before the Elite Four. We were able to easily take him down, and we were able to show just how this final battle should go. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to heal up, make any final changes that we need to make, and we're going to head into this fight at level 60. I think this should be plenty. We have Hyper Beam on our set now over Body Slam, so if we do need any neutral damage, we've got a 225 effective power Hyper Beam that should, with our attack stat, unless we're, taking on the Cloyster, it should be able to pretty much take out anyone. Now we are going to still use the super effective moves when they're available, just because they will be a little bit more consistent. So let's kind of hop into this champion fight. Obviously, first thing we're going to start off with is the Sand Slash. Now, we could go Hyper Beam, we could also go Ice Beam, but I'm going to keep it safe here, because that Hyper Beam does have the chance to miss. We don't want to take any extra damage. Sand Slash also doesn't have that great special. Hyper Beam on the Alakazam, perfect, going to take him out probably 100 times out of 100. Ice Beam on the Exeggutor, we do a good critical hit. And luckily, it's not going for Leech Seed. And Ice Beam, honestly, not doing that much. Even with a critical, it's still... We got a critical hit on one of those turns, and we still took 3 turns to take out Exeggutor. Thunderbolt on the Cloyster. It's going to be a 2-shot KO. We do not get frozen by Ice Beam. Very, very good. And last but not least, Flareon. We're going to go for Dig. It's going to miss the Flamethrower due to us being on the ground. And that's going to be a 1-shot KO, finishing off the champion at level 61. Very... as much easy as I imagined it would be. And with that, let's take a look at kind of where we ranked with Raticate. So the only point deductions we did have was from the Brock fight. We lost 13 points there. We also lost 5 points to Erica. So that's going to give us, after our bonus points of 18 for coverage, which is kind of insane, -2 for weaknesses, +6 for resistances. Really good, actually. Is that right? Yeah. No. Yeah, we're weak to fighting. We get the resistance. Yeah, we don't resist anything, but we have immunity to ghosts. That's correct. And then we get 4 points for the finish level, and then -3 points for base stats. This is all obviously filtered for the normal typing, so that gives us 23 bonus points. So Raticate gets a final score of 526 out of 583, placing it with a score of 90.22%. That will slide it right into the A tier amongst the normal types. Really good, despite the fact that it lost points on base stats. And then filtering it over for all of the Pokemon, Raticate is not going to get any base stats because it is equal to the base stat total for all 151. So that'll give it a score of 529. out of 583. So it actually gets 3 more points there. Still not much of an improvement as far as base stats go. It's going to get a score of 90.74. And that'll slot it into the A tier amongst, you know, all 151 Pokemon. So that's pretty good. Pretty good finish from Raticate. Next up on the list, we've got Nidoking. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.